Hello Gemini, it's Serene from Insight Readings with your insights for the month of 21. Before I get into it, I just want to call in spirit guides once again. So, guardians of the four corners, angels, ancestors, and sacred ones, I call on you and welcome you here now. Thank you for wisdom, clarity, and understanding for the messages for Gemini for the month of 21. Thank you. Amen. Okay, so a little bit on the astrology. On the 28th, 29th, we had a full moon in Leo, which would have been your 9th and 3rd houses. So your big focus is on education, travel, your ideals, your busy house, and communication. Okay, so there was a full moon there, something coming through there with difficulty, but there's a realization. But on the 1st of February, this is a very reading, the moon is in Virgo. So again, something about details, and it's the waning moon, so it's the settling of it, there's closure, there's surrender. And the last day of the month, we had Mercury that went retrograde. So Mercury is about communication again, in your 9th house, or your higher knowledge, or dealing with legal situations. 9th house, we'll give more details on that. But just on the planets, Mercury retrograde is about redoing, revisiting, rewriting. It's all the re's. There's something that needs to be revised in a sense. I'm going to give you the energies first of the moon in Virgo. So Virgo is a very analytical energy. It's about coming across as being maybe in a detached form. So the moon, the energies of the moon, now the moon can relate to women in your life, or emotional support, or your fate and fortune, because the moon changes with so rapidly, and so does our luck and life. And it's in your 4th house of your home and your environment, your family, and your surroundings, in short. So the moon in Virgo brings the energies of being reserved, modest, meticulous, or fastidious, timid, and nervous. Okay, so while that is there, we have these planets here, and that's what we've been dealing with for the past while. Although Venus will be moving and crossing that boundary, but on the 1st, she's still here in this 8th house, which is a very difficult house. It's other people's money, it's death, it's trauma. It's really a difficult house to navigate through. So there's something here that's coming through quite explosively with Pluto. Pluto is the god of the underworld, and he's bringing up something in an explosive manner. So the combination of those two planets and the energy that they bring, Venus and Pluto together, that you've been dealing with for quite some time, and everybody has in different areas of their life. For you, it's this traumatic 8th house, a very difficult house. I mean, Pluto's been in this house since Pluto went into Capricorn. So you've suffered a lot of trauma, you've experienced a lot of death and endings, and difficulty. And with Venus, it could have been around family, love, relationships. But for this month, I just want to give you the energies of that. Venus and Pluto conjunct, although she's separating and moving over, gives that need to eliminate disturbing feelings that could become obsessional and sort of bring on neurotic tendencies. And a person's got to try and find better results to release these undesired feelings in a normal way. But it's difficult with Pluto bringing this up all the time. It just bubbles up like a volcano. And if one can't do it in a rational, practical way, there'll be a tendency to those explosive feelings, plutonic with Pluto there. And that trines this difficulty. But we'll go into that. So our next date I want to bring is the 2nd of you. That's how this month starts. Again, it's bang, bang, bang. We have Venus that goes across this barrier. Now that's a complete sign change, so the energy changes completely, and Venus joins this whole big group in your 9th house, which is a huge significant house for you for the month of February, and in fact for the next 2.5 years. Big changes there. We'll go into that. And then the last date I want to bring in is the 10th of February. I'm not going to go further than that. We're going to bring the moon in here. So we have 6 of the traditional planets in Hellenistic astrology, all in this 9th house of yours. It is a new moon, so there's a final surrender of something and a new seed that is planted in this higher knowledge house of yours. That is a square across here to this very difficult house here, your 12th house. So what is in your 12th house? Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Oh, excuse me. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so the square now, that's what we're going to focus on, and I'm going to bring the tarot in, is on these 2 houses here, the 9th and the 12th, which is significant for the month of February. For Gemini, if you're Gemini rising or sun or moon, this will have resonance for you in some areas of your life. So remember, in your 10th house, there's some form of deceit and illusion and a smoke screen or fantasy, because Neptune has been there and will be there. So it's been there for a long time. Neptune is a very slow-moving planet, so difficult energies here. But the square with these planets is to these planets. Now, Taurus is your 12th house. And in your 12th house, the 12th house is about accomplishments, but having willpower and a lot of secrecy. It's a very difficult house. It's the blind side, but we'll give more on the houses. The planets, you have a conjunction of Uranus, the planet of shock treatment, rebellion, unexpected happenings, conjunct Mars. Mars is about accidents, energy, courage, aggression, in the sign of Taurus, a fixed sign. So what is the conjunction of these 2 planets and the energies, or what they bring into this 12th house? So it's definitely energetic with the 2 of them there. Enterprising impulses, deviating from the normal, it is the 12th house. Rebellious passions, excitable emotions, erratic self-will, feeling restless, impatient, impulsive, but having fanatical courage with these 2 years. So be aware of that. High nervous tension, tendency to sexual abnormalities, a huge tendency, because Venus rules this planet, and there's a connection here as well. But it's also the eccentricity of Uranus with Mars and passion, and there's always a love-hate relationship between Mars and Venus, because they're such extreme opposites. So you've got to try and find some form of successful expression of this energy, otherwise there'll be a tendency again to eccentricity, irritability, or extreme self-will, because the sign of Taurus is very stubborn and obstinate, you know. So there's this obstinate behavior as well. I just want to tell you, Mars in Taurus comes in with the energy of being industrious, tenacious, practical, purposeful, or sensuous, but there's that extremely obstinate side, and also violence with Mars there, because Mars is cutting, accidents, fire, all those type of things in your blind side. So with those planets and the energies they bring through, I'm going to do the tarot on these houses and also bring in the energies of those houses, or what they mean. Maybe I should bring that in now, I think, while you're looking at the planets. So we're going to say, start off with your 9th house, because in Hellenistic astrology, your 9th house is overcoming the 12th house. So what is your 9th house all about? It's actually a very good house. It's the joy of the sun, and the sun is in the 9th house, although it's in its fall. It's completely opposite to its sign, so it's actually in exile. This could be somebody in fall, it could be a father figure, it could be governments, authority figures, bosses, anything like that, because it's a solar figure, it's important. Um, and there's something that is hidden because Jupiter and Saturn is hidden under the beams of the sun. They're too close to the sun, and the brightness of the sun hides it. So this is rules and regulations that are being hidden and that you're not aware of under something that is fallen and difficult, okay, in your ninth house of knowledge. With Mercury revisiting and checking out something, being inquisitive and inventive and checking it out, and Venus being coolly emotional, not sort of overly emotional. The moon bringing in something new here with this new moon. In this Aquarius sign of rebellious action, freedom seeking. So your focus is your ideals, your optimism. Escapism comes into it, and long distance travel also falls in that ninth house. It's the house of the higher self. It relates to the father, partner's younger siblings. You could be dealing with your partner's younger siblings as well as your own siblings. You could be dealing with courts, law, legal issues. Religion and philosophy would fall into this. And of course, higher learning, formal or informal. Higher education, higher mind, academic matters, abstract knowledge, faith and wisdom. The travel to distant lands is here. And you could have thoughts of moving home to far off places because it deals with foreigners and distant relatives. It's the house of morals and virtues. You want the meaning in life. It's good fortune and luck. It deals with in-laws, publishing, your attitude to the future, your spiritual beliefs, because the sun has its joy there, your expansion, your freedom, your manifesting, and then, of course, the relationship with foreigners, your visions, your wisdom, the higher meaning of that which is beyond our individuality, a very spiritual sort of house, your vision, your ideals. And that is the square or this difficulty between this really difficult house. I mean, the 12th house is not a house that is easy to navigate through. And having planets here that are in fixed signs, but you have the house overcomes the house. So the 12th house is a house of final liberation. It is a very auspicious house because it is known as our blind side. It relates to expenses, to loss, to debts, suffering, but also to enlightenment and surrender and spiritual final liberation. It's the house of forgiveness, of atonement, the house of repressions, but also compassion, inner peace, innate talents, the house of charity, hidden places like monasteries, prisons, confinement, weakness, hospitals can fall into it, solitude, but dangers, isolation. Conclusions are found here. It's a house of addictive substances because you can hide it, physical distance, self-undoing, a house of ancestral karma. It's the unconscious. It's the house of shame and secrets and inner demons, but also the house of intuition and dreams. Also relates to foreign countries. So foreign definitely is a connection here. It's the destination of the soul after death and definite endings. But it's also about bed pleasures, whether it is about sleep or sex. It definitely comes into that as well. So with that said, I'm going to go into the tarot and do three cards, and see what we get with that to confirm these energies. So just bear with me as I pause to set up. Okay. So here we go. 3 cards, Spirit, please, for the 9th house. The overcoming house against the challenge of the 12th house, the blind side, the difficult house. The 12th house is always about hidden enemies. Hidden, you're not aware of it. So whether it's your own enemy of self-undoing or whether it is actual physical people, that's a reality too, or situation in one's life. Okay, so there we have ninth house is about collaboration, negotiation, study, learning, but in a very practical way, grounded and earthy. So it's a new form of study. You could be studying. We see the books here. We see burning the midnight oil, the light there, and using your instinct for wisdom. He's boiling something. Yeah, he's working on something. It's bubbling up there. It's coming up there. Knowledge around healing because it's green. And it actually, to me, Spirit has just brought through, this is in stained glass windows here. So it's something that's been there in a past that you're working on. Obviously, it's taken a long time, experience in this deck. So there's experience of this that you're working on. Whether it is something, the ninth house is also the house of astrology, that higher learning. You could be working on that as well. And then here's the Ace of Swords. If it is a legal situation, here's an opportunity. But this is an opportunity that is hard won. Swords is that Aquarius energy. It is air. It is sharp. It cuts regardless which side it falls, because there isn't that emotion attached to it. Something has to be decided. Something has to be cut out. And there's an opportunity for something through something that was very difficult. We have these mountains here. The eagle, falcon, hawk, whatever this bird of prey is, when he has his focus, regardless of what is around him, his focus stays his focus. Nothing changes that. And that is what this is about. Regardless of how difficult it is, the bird goes in for the kill. So this is a new contract, a new epiphany, a new realization that is crystal clear, clean cut, and a victory. And that is maybe overcoming the demons in your life, because this is a major arcana and it's the strength card, saying that you have the courage and the strength and the conviction to overcome what is so difficult in your life. I mean, here we have a ferocious lion that looks like a calm little petted kitten, yes, very calm and serene. We have the infinity sign here about the past and the present that collide as she mixes this. She's in white with these red roses about love. So what she has done, or you, is you've taken on this difficulty, demon in your life, whatever it is that was ferocious. I mean, a lion is something that is in your face and frightening. And through gentleness, through grace, through inner strength, through intuition, you've managed to tame those beasts, and it allowed her to tame it, and they become this unified reality. If she had confronted it, it would have ripped her to pieces. So it was done with wisdom, patience, care, grace, tenderness, and inner strength. This is inner strength. And then the challenge, what is challenging you from that, the hidden things. The Nine of Cups, there seems to be a desire fulfillment here, something that you've been working on, and now you have the abundance of it, but there's an ending of a cycle. 9, something you've done on your own, on an emotional level, and somehow the desire is now finally being fulfilled. So if you're working on something, there's this fulfillment now. If you've been placing yourself in isolation because of long distance study, or being isolated from your country, or having to do that with whatever's happening in the world, he has this desire fulfillment. It's a card of happiness, wish fulfillment. It's taken a long time. The Knight of Pentacles is about plodding along slowly, being detail orientated, working to something that is practical and real, to get to your future. And even though it is slow, there's victory. This year is victory, there's healing. Whatever the goal and intention was here, it's gold, it's earthy, it's real, it's practical, and it always bears fruit. These fields are abundant and fruitful. So there's something that comes across, even though being so slow it almost felt like it was stagnant. And the final liberation here is the Three of Cups, where there's happiness and celebration with family and friends around something. It's a party. It's a happy feeling of finally having success in something. So if it was a legal battle around and there was something owed to you, obviously something practical, there's a victory in it because you were patient and you overcame it. There's an overcoming of it, and you celebrate with your family and friends that you have this victory. That seems to definitely resonate in this reading. And Princess of Autumn. So that is the page of autumn. It is a message about money, because of somebody, or a message about your study, if you're studying, and here's your desire fulfillment, something that your higher knowledge, and you were isolated there because you put the time and effort into it, and you were studious, responsible, and yet cheerful and mischievous in it all together as well. There's the book again, the studying, or the knowledge that is gained, the message. So it's about happy news about your career or promotions or scholarships, well thought out plans that go perfectly, needing a little push to get going. Okay, so what is the victory here? The opportunity with the Ace of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles with the goal and intention, Spirit. How does that tie in? And we have the Ten of Autumn. Well, there's your settlement. There's your money. There's your victory. That's the Ten of Pentacles. It is like it's like a windfall in a sense. You know, the Ten of Pentacles is 10 pentacles. You don't get higher than the 10. It's a culmination of a cycle and a new beginning with something that you've been working hard on, and here's this opportunity presented. It's about family, and finances, something practical, property, and Spirit is saying take steps to ensure the financial security of your children or other loved one. It's the lineage card. Making wise investments or planning for retirement, honoring family traditions. Isn't that beautiful? And then our next two, what is that? Okay, and then just to bring in that I didn't bring in, that Strength card is a card of Leo. Remember, we had the full moon in Leo, the end of Leo. So that energy was brought in, and that was your third house as well of communication. So here we have the King of Spring. So this is fire energy. It's a king, it's a mature energy, it's somebody in your life that stood up for you, or it could be your own energy, but it's changes on the outside of you. Bringing this here, I mean, there's fire energy, here's fire, and here we have celebration. So because you were innovative, inspiring, wise, and maybe even a little bit theatrical, which Gemini can be, there's a financial windfall. Again, confirmation. Your leadership skills were needed and are needed, and you put it forward. And an unexpected supporter of your cause. So very positive reading for you, Gemini, regardless of what you've been dealing with. In that, if you've turned it around and used it, Mars and Uranus, in a very practical sense, there's that forward movement in a dynamic, eccentricity type of way, and sudden. Oh, there we go. Control and discern. Rowan. So that's our message. I'm going to pause, find it in the book, and read it. There we go. Okay, so I did come out the right way around. We see autumn here as well, with the orange berries. Control and discern. So orange is creativity as well. So it says, when Rowan appears, it is a reminder that you have more control over what is happening around you than you may believe. Now is the time to maintain control over your emotions. Remember, Mars in Taurus can be the tyrant. Remember that. And then you can self-sabotage. It's in your house. So maintain your control over your emotions and you will find your endeavors greatly protected. A very sacred tree in the Norse tradition, Rowan reminds us that there must be a balance between common sense and superstition, science and magic, freedom and discipline. Those are the two houses that are being affected, and your spirit is speaking to it. You know, the house is also the house of possibly superstition, or the spiritual side, magic, the house of magic, even the house of witchcraft in a sense. And the house is the other side again, the spirit. So knowledge overcomes fear and gives birth to discernment. Opportunities for true knowledge are at hand, and you will be able to filter out what and who is no longer suitable for you. What a beautiful closure to a message. Excellent news for you, Gemini. I wish you all the best, and thank you for the support of the channel as well. I'm trying to keep these short, so I'm keeping all the introductions short as well. Wish you all the best as you go through the month of June.